Hello and welcome to Study with Sudhir, your digital classroom. I am T.S. Sudhir. Many of you are wondering, when will life get back to normal? When will the lockdown be lifted? Hello and welcome to Study with Sudhir, your digital classroom. I am T.S. Sudhir. Many of you are wondering, when will life get back to normal? When will the lockdown be lifted? When will the social distancing end? When can we actually get back to the classroom? When can we once again start traveling by train, flights and by buses? When can we actually go out and meet our friends? Isn't that so? Now let me tell you one thing, and I mean it. Life as we knew it before the national lockdown is going to be an alien culture. I mean it. We may get back to some parts of how life was before, say, mid-March 2020. Hopefully, touch wood, but it will never be the same vaccine or no vaccine. And I'll tell you in the course of this video how life is actually going to be very, very different, especially for students, right? I call it the BC 2.0. BC as in before Corona, right? And the period after, whenever things get back to normal, will be the AD 2.0, after disease, right? So this will be the BC and the AD of the 21st century. So what are going to be the big changes that you students and even your parents need to be prepared for in AD after the disease has been conquered? One, the classroom as it existed as a concept is set to undergo a dramatic change. Your school classroom, right? What the online classes, and many of you would be having your online classes arranged from the school management. What these online classes have made the school managements realize that it is possible to teach at least a few subjects, if not all, at least a few subjects digitally inside a virtual classroom. So over a period of time, it may not happen immediately, but over a period of time, and I expect that to happen in the next year or the next couple of years, some of the subjects in every classroom to be shifted into the digital mode. Whatever can be taught digitally, virtually, it will be taught online. Everything will not happen anymore inside a classroom. But more than schools, and point number two, more than schools, it is the tuition class that is set to undergo a dramatic transformation, because that is likely to embrace online teaching in a major way. And what it will do is actually magical. It will be fantastic what it will actually do to the, your neighborhood tuition teacher and what he or she could actually do. So far you were constrained by geography or proximity, that you need to go to someone who is nearby for safety reasons, for reasons of time, that you wouldn't want to spend too much time commuting to the teacher's house, or you needed some parent or some sibling to drop you to the tuition master's house. So all that dictated your choice. But now, even if you are in, say, a city like Bhopal or Gwalior or Sikandrabad or Guntur, you could actually find an excellent teacher in, say, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, and you can explore the option of online tuitions. Isn't that fantastic? You no longer are going to be constrained by that I need to find someone in my own locality, or at least somebody in the vicinity. That is going to be a major transformation, and there are a whole lot of platforms which are now available, e-platforms, where teachers can actually teach online. This is going to be a big change in the field of education, and already in fact seminars are taking place looking at the positives for the field of education from the coronavirus pandemic. What have been the positive turns as a result of this, positive outcomes? In fact, I recall a conversation I had with a dear friend of mine, a very well-known industrialist who heads an IT major company in India and does a lot of work both in India and abroad, including in the field of education. He told me just 3 months back that in the next decade, schools will be reduced only to meetings to develop teamwork and person-to-person engagement. Interactive skills essentially. social skills. But the real learning he foresaw that it will take place online. But I feel that he spoke about it in the month of, I think, December. We were traveling together. But the coronavirus pandemic has actually pushed that date much, much closer now. It won't take a decade anymore. Number 3, now given that even a minor cold or cough or mild fever can now be misinterpreted as corona, you will now have to excuse yourself from attending school the next time you are suffering from just a cold or a sneeze or a cough or a mild fever. Because corona has really changed the dynamics of fear, anxiety, concern, not just among teachers but parents and even fellow classmates, batchmates. Your school setup also will have to undergo a change, because no longer you can sit next to each other, your shoulders touching each other. No, you can't do that. You will have to maintain a distance even after this entire pandemic is behind us. Because remember, what it has done is to make us all feel very vulnerable, that we are all vulnerable at the end of the day. So we wouldn't want to take any more chances. So social distancing is here to stay for some time to come, definitely. So you will have to maintain distance, which means the school classrooms will have to be now more spacious. A school classroom which would kind of take in say about 30 students, 35 students will now have to actually make space to have much more space to kind of factor the social distancing which will have to be maintained inside the classroom on your benches. And given the infrastructure position in many schools, that could actually prove to be a challenge. Definitely, your classrooms will now have to be bigger in size. Small classrooms will no longer do. Students of this academic year, irrespective of which class you in, and listen to this carefully because this is the most important point from a short-term perspective. You need to brace yourself, prepare yourself for a disrupted academic year. Don't think that it's all going to be hunky-dory once the lockdown is lifted. No, it won't be. The world, India, your state, your city, your locality will continue to be vulnerable. So you need to be prepared for a disrupted academic year. So the amount of support that you get normally from your teachers will be severely affected by what is going to happen in the world around you, in the country, in your state, in your city. So you will need to devise your own methods how you are going to finish your syllabus. I see many students are already doing that, especially students who have come into class 10. I see many students have already started studying English literature. They started working on English grammar. They started studying geography, history, civics, because I do see a lot of traction on the video lessons that we have put out on all these subjects, which means students at least of class 10, even those who are now going to class 11, class 9, class 8 students also have been studying, which is a very good sign that students are taking responsibility. They're aware of the situation the world is in at this point in time, right? So you need to devise your own methods, make your own schedules, make your own timetables, find out how you can understand the concepts and be prepared. Find out the best places, e-platforms where you can actually gain the best knowledge from. Do that, you will be benefited. You can no longer depend only on the school to finish your syllabus, because the school will be under tremendous pressure this year around. So this academic year 2020-21 is going to be very different from any academic year in the past. So the time to act is really now, and I'll tell you why I'm saying that, because this morning I actually received a WhatsApp message. Not that I don't receive, I'm on some hundreds of groups which send a lot of message, but this was a message which I got from my brother-in-law in Mumbai, and this one kind of resonated with what I believe and with something which I keep talking about. It said, if you do not come out of this lockdown, with a new skill, I have been talking about this, with a new skill, more knowledge, better health and fitness, it will show that you never lack time, because time you have in plenty right now, right? What it will show is that you lacked discipline. You did not lack time, but you lacked discipline. So that, according to me, is the big message that you need to take from this lockdown that all of India is right now under. Unlikely that it will end on the 14th of April. in all likelihood, it will be extended by at least 2 weeks. At least that's what the political consensus is. That was what was kind of suggested during the all-party meeting that the Prime Minister had with leaders of all political parties, of all major political parties. So, remember all these different changes that are going to take place in your student life. Remember, it's a very historical time that you're actually going through. This year 2020 will go down in history as a year which really tested humanity and the entire world, and you are seeing it firsthand. You are eyewitnesses to history in the making, right? But at the same time, remember how to prepare yourself well, both short term as well as long term, as students, as young citizens of our country. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay at home. God bless you.